Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be featuring the Des Moines with the new space camo that they have just released. Now, the Des Moines is honestly one of the best cruisers at Legendary tier simply because of the insane DPM that it brings. However, the weak armor is what makes this ship a bit squishy when going up against other Legendary tier battleships or other tier 8 battleships. Now that tier 7 will not face legendary tier unless you fail division with the tier 8. There won't be those 380 millimeter guns that can't overmatch the 27 millimeters of the Des Moines except for a few rare occasions. Pushing into this island here and this little gap, I spawn an enemy Des Moines and start shooting AP at his broadside. Unfortunately, I was only able to get one citadel, and now he is going to be bow in, and we're basically going to be trading bow in. I do pop my radar to spot him and any other ships nearby, and this Des Moines does end up deciding to turn out and not take this bow in engagement with me, which is a bit unfortunate, but also really good for me since I know that a bow in fight in Des Moines will pretty much come down to shooting AP at each other's turrets and seeing who destroys the other person's turret first. After using my radar consumable, I spot an enemy Bismarck and Flandre, and both of them have 380mm guns, which means they will not be able to overmatch my bow, and all I will need to do is just simply sit bow in and shoot AP or HE at their superstructures, and I will be able to melt them extremely quickly. As I reversed, I saw a enemy Republic charging through the middle, so I know I can't sit here, and pushing in bow in to these two battleships is the best play, especially since they will not be able to overmatch me, and the DPM on these guns are just so insane that I will be able to kill them off very quickly. I bow in towards this island, and I intend on beaching as this Bismarck pushes around. I hit the island, and this Bismarck is pretty much flat broadside to me, and now I'm just going to be pumping him full of AP, and you can just see how much I'm just absolutely chunking him, and how quickly I am doing all of this damage. He shoots AP at my bow, but most of it ricochets, and his secondaries are what sets me on fire. He eats one torpedo, and all of his HP is pretty much gone, and just like that, within a minute, he is gone. And now all that's left is this enemy Flandre, who is about to suffer the same fate as this Bismarck, not being able to do anything to this bow-in heavy cruiser. But since he is bow-in, I'm not going to be able to shoot AP and do chunks of damage. Instead, I'll be shooting HE doing chunks of damage and setting him on fire. I do need to be very careful on where that enemy Des Moines went. If he has turned around, he will be able to support this Flandre, and most likely will be able to citadel me with those improved AP pen angles. So I do start to reverse slightly, because I am anticipating that he has turned around. As I keep shooting at him, you can see my detected symbol is more than one person looking at me, and it does go away, so I do know that the Des Moines is probably not looking at me. Now I'm just absolutely wrecking this Flandre, and he really has nothing that he can do, and I'm just going to sit here bow in. He does start moving forward very slightly, and his best play is to just try and ram me, but all I would need to do then is just reverse back behind the island through the little gap, and he will definitely die to fire. I set a second fire on him, and I go back to shooting the bow that is already on fire, simply because I'm assuming he has fight fire with fire, since Azur Dunkirk exists, and he does go down. The enemy Des Moines actually ends up all the way out there on the border, and instead of going and chasing him all the way out there, there seems to be two enemy cruisers in their cap that is a Worcester and a Minotaur that the Des Moines, when in close range, will absolutely annihilate. The Des Moines that went out to the border really was in no position to help his two teammates and really just left them there to die, because him being where he is, he wasn't actually able to shoot at any of our other friendly ships, so he was being useless, which is really unfortunate for the enemy team, but really fortunate for me. Pushing into their cap, the enemy Minotaur does get spotted, and instead of shooting, I am just going to hold my shots because I figure the Minotaur might start turning out since he is spotted, which he does there, and I'm able to land some citadels. I do turn to the left in order to try and keep him on his broadside, but that second salvo just ends up dev striking him. And as I dev strike him, this Worcester also comes out around the corner, just sailing broadside. And you can see this AP just absolutely wrecking him. And his only play would have been to go bow into me, but even then I would just switch to HE and then the Des Moines would still win, since the Des Moines is just the best DPM for its main guns in the game and one of its gimmicks. I have 4 kills now, and this enemy Republic is just sailing broadside, so I'm just going to start shooting him with AP, and even at this range, AP from the Des Moines is able to do some pretty good chunks of damage. The Republic does start targeting me, so I accelerate at full speed and try to turn in. Unfortunately, one shell hits me, and it's a Citadel. The one shell that hits me is a Citadel is quite unfortunate, but it's not that big of a deal since I am still alive and just going to absolutely just farm him. The enemy Des Moines that was spotted on the border is still just chasing whatever he can find in our spawn, which isn't a whole lot. This Republic is going to go down, and all we're going to do now is just sit in their cap and secure a win. Am I going to get the Kraken? I do, and now all I need to do is just sit here, cap their base, and we will win, or our team will end up killing the Des Moines, whatever comes first. I'm just going to speed this up here because, spoiler alert, we win by capping their objective. So instead of making you watch me sit here and cap for 2 minutes, I'll just fast forward it ahead until we cap the base and the game ends. It's really unfortunate that the Des Moines is going to get nerfed, especially now with Tier 8 separating Tier 7 from Legendary Tier. A lot of the Tier 8 battleships are just capable of absolutely smashing the Des Moines. But anyway, in this game, I was able to do 203,000 damage and secure a Kraken, 3,200 base XP, and get to showcase this new camo for the Des Moines and all of its space glory. The commander build that I was using for this was Shelly Beepley, like I use on all of my other US radar cruisers, and you can actually pick up Shelly Beepley in the store until the end of this update. I do think it is a commander that is definitely worth it, since you can get your cruiser consummate down so low that you can have a stealth radar where you can pretty much detect anything that will outspot you. I have the Miss Santa Geist over my Shelly Beepley commander, and as you can see, Ingenious, full speed ahead, Velocious, and the unique skill in the 4th row, Private Zone, that decreases your concealment by 8%, and also points in the direction of the closest enemy ship, which is very useful in hunting down DDs. Use fully packed in the legendary slot, and my 2 inspirations are Gunichi Mikawa and Jersey Swirsky in order to get that concealment down as low as possible. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Do leave a like and subscribe for more. Leave a comment down below for any ships you want to see in the future. But until next time, aloha.